Okay, S3. So I hope you're all well and that you've been enjoying the snowy weather and you've not been locked in your houses by the snow drifts that have been coming in from everywhere. Um, this week, we're continuing our study of the unit called Life on Other Planets. Your title today is Was the Universe Designed? And your learning intentions are to learn about the anthropic principle and to learn about the design argument. So I'd like you to write those down. Your success criteria, which you don't have to write down, is to evaluate the anthropic principle and the design argument. Basically, what we're asking ourselves in this lesson is, was the universe created in a way which either one, was set up for humans to live in, or two, was created with a purpose, okay? Now, what we're basically looking at here is this idea of whether or not God or gods created the universe. So what you're going to do first of all is you're going to answer this question for me. Do you think that the universe was made for humans? Give 2 reasons for your answer. So you're writing in full sentences. Do you think that the universe was made for humans? And I'd like you to give 2 reasons for your answer. Now, I'm going to introduce you to the design argument. So I'd like you to take this note here. So William Paley, an 18th century philosopher, argued that the universe must have been designed by a god. Now, what you're going to do now is you're going to pause this video and you're going to click this link on Microsoft Teams. And what you're going to do is you're going to complete the jigsaw of the eye. I want you to select easy mode and I want you to record how long it took you to do it. Now, why I've asked you to do this will become clear once you've finished the puzzle. So if you pause the video now and complete that jigsaw puzzle, that would be excellent. So I'd like you to take all of this down because it requires me to explain in detail what Paley meant, and it's also important for you to have it written down what Paley meant by the design argument. So Paley argued that the universe is a lot like a pocket watch. If you look at a pocket watch, it is made up of lots of different parts which make it work. If you look at the universe, so if you've got your telescope, or you don't even need your telescope, you can just look at how life is on Earth, you can see that it too is complex and made up of lots of different parts. So Paley says that because a watch is complex and made up of lots of parts and needs a watchmaker, then the universe, which is complex and made up of lots of different parts which make it work, it must also need a universe maker, okay? Now, Paley believed that this universe maker is God. So why did I get you to do that eye jigsaw? Well, people who believe in the design argument will say that things that are very complex in the universe, so like, the entire universe and how it all works, is good evidence for how there could be a designer. But what they might do is also look at examples that are on the planet Earth to kind of further their point. And if you consider the human eye is a very complex organ, which basically, translates light energy into what we are able to see. So because the eye is so complex, and because actually, the human body is quite complex, and not just the human body, but the bodies of animals and plants, etc., are very complex, people will use these examples to show that there must have been some kind of design to nature, and then take the leap and say that, well, God must have caused it because only a God is powerful enough to create a universe and create life that's so complex. So what you're going to do now is on Microsoft Teams, there's a video called The Watchmaker. And I just want you to watch the video. I don't want you to take any notes on it. I just want you to watch it. And what that will do is it will just give you a visual demonstration of the design argument. Once you've done that, I want you to complete these 2 questions. So your first one is describe the design argument. So what I want you to do is basically tell me what Paley presented as a design argument. What does he argue? How does he argue it? And then you're going to give two reasons for the answer to the second question, which is, do you agree with the design argument? So you need to give me two reasons why or why not you agree with the design argument. If you don't know, again, two reasons would be great. So once you've done that, we're going to move on to this idea called the anthropic principle. Now, what I want you to do is to take these three notes down. So the anthropic principle is the idea that the universe was made specifically for humans. Clearly, the universe is set up in such a way that life can evolve. Our planet is just the right temperature and just the right distance from the sun to allow life to thrive. But even the laws of physics, such as gravity, allow for life to happen in the first place. So if at the Big Bang, if we believe the Big Bang is real, gravity was just a few units stronger, it would have clumped everything too much together to create life. On the other hand, if it was just a few units lighter, it wouldn't have been strong enough for particles to come together to allow life to happen. So it seems to some people that the universe appears to be designed not only for life, but for humans as well, because it's these small fine-tuning elements to it, which suggest to them that life or that the universe was created specifically for life, or even further specifically for humans. So you don't need to write this down. However, I'm going to explain it to you. So those who believe in the anthropic principle believe that the universe has been finely tuned to allow life to exist. So think about it this way. If gravity was slightly weaker, then there wouldn't be enough force to hold everything together. If there's not enough force to hold everything together, then there can be no life that we know of. If our planet was only a few million miles further away from the sun, which is small when you think about how big the universe is, then life couldn't exist at all because it'd be too cold. On the other hand, if we were a few million miles closer, it's possible that it'd be too hot. So what we'd have is a planet that couldn't support life. We just happen to be in the right region of our solar system to allow life to happen as we know it. So what you're going to do is you're going to watch this video about the anthropic principle. Again, it will be on Microsoft Teams. It's quite short, but it's just a quick illustration of the anthropic principle. Now, before we get you onto your final task, here is a description of what we call the Goldilocks zone. Now, the Goldilocks zone, also known as the habitable zone, is the distance from a star in which life has a possibility to develop. Our planet lies within the sun's Goldilocks zone. So, as I said earlier on in this lesson, if we are too close to the sun, then it's too hot to have life. If it's too cold, if it's too far away even, it's too cold to create life. We just happen to be in the right region of our solar system to allow life to happen. So this is why some people will believe in the anthropic principle. So your final task is to complete these 3 questions. In fact, it's 4 questions. So your 4 questions are, do you agree that the universe appears to be finely tuned to create life? Give 1 reason for your answer. Next up, just because the universe appears to be finely tuned doesn't mean that it actually is. What nonsense. Do you agree? Give 2 reasons for your answer. If the universe has been finely tuned, do you think that this would have been done by a god? Give 2 reasons for your answer. And your final question is, in what ways are the design argument and the anthropic principle similar to one another? Find at least 1 connection. Once you've done all the tasks in this lesson, you've completed your RME lesson for the week. Next week, we're going to have a look at more issues that the idea of, or the notion of life on other planets conjure up. So we'll see you next week. I hope you have a good week, and I look forward to seeing your great work. And I'm sure Mrs. McAllister does as well. So see you then.